Sankofa, back to the source. Sankofa, back where our ancestors came. Back to the source. Sankofa. Yeah.
Hotel, peace. Welcome to another edition of Sankofa, Lessons from Black History. My name is Baba Andama'at, and once again, I'm honored to have this opportunity to share with you some amazing things that are happening concerning Black history. First, I want to share with you Sankofa. As you may know, Sankofa is an African term that means go back and fetch it. The Sankofa bird is an Adinkra symbol. When you see the Sankofa bird in this symbol, it's a bird that has its feet planted face it forward. The head of the bird is turned around, and in the mouth of the bird is an egg. This is a very powerful symbol. This symbolizes that the feet facing forward is that we are standing here in the present as a people. But in order to move forward, we must learn from the past. So the head of the bird is turned backwards, looking back, learning from history. And in the mouth of the bird is the egg, which represents the prosperity, the prosperous future of a people that learn lessons from the past as they move forward into the future. Sankofa. The Sankofa, Lessons from Black History, is a program designed for us to look back at African history, Black history. And as we look back, we learn valuable lessons. And therefore, we can extract those lessons and apply them today as we move forward into the future. Sankofa, Lessons from Black History. Today, I'm very honored to have an opportunity to share with you something that's happening here in the city of San Antonio, something very special. There's documentation of Black history taking place here in film and in a bus tour. And I want to share with you some of that information that's coming forward. Of course, San Antonio is a population city. I think it's the 7th most populous city in America. It is said that the population of African Americans here in San Antonio is about 7 to 8%. Now, the population is said to be about 1.5 million people. Now, if you take a percentage and look at 7%, it doesn't seem like a lot. But in actuality, that percentage represents about over 100,000 African Americans here in San Antonio. So, we want to share with you that what is happening here is the acknowledgement of a very, sometimes unknown aspect of the history of San Antonio. And that is that African people have been here since the founding of the city. And African Americans have contributed to the foundation and fabric of the city. On February the 29th, Melanized Media, a film production company here in San Antonio, will premiere their second film of the series, Walk on the River, A Black History of Alamo City. In this upcoming film, Walk on the River 2.0, the African influence in San Antonio, it will be sharing information about Africans in San Antonio before 1865. So very briefly, I want you to take a look at the trailer of this upcoming film.
Christopher Columbus noted in his journal of the second voyage that the Native Americans confirmed black-skinned people had come from the southeast in boats trading in gold-tipped spears.
When the Canary Islanders first founded San Antonio, quote, founded, of course, there was Native Americans here before that, but when you look at the map of Africa, you find out the Canary Islands are just to the west of the African continent. And sure enough, there were black Africans living there before the Spaniards got there.
In 710 AD, and the Moors were ruling Spain, France, Germany, and England for 800 years.
Most Moors from northern Africa were Islamic. So when they invade Spain, most of Spain, especially the southern half, becomes controlled by black Africans.
The Moor is anything black. You see it in the Spanish language, Mora, M-O-R-A, means black. There's a street here in San Antonio called Zarzamora. Zaza is berry, Mora is black. Literally, Zarzamora means blackberry.
Now, as you see, this film is going to be very powerful because it's going to connect San Antonio to Africa. One of the things that we hope to share in this film is that the history of African Americans, black people, did not begin in slavery. So when we talk about the history of blacks in San Antonio, we want you to see that the influence of the Moors in Spain is here. And let me back up, because sometimes I'm assuming that we all know the history, and I'm quite sure many of us do. But the Moors were Africans in northern Africa that went into Spain and occupied Spain for approximately 700 years. And therefore, the Spaniards, when they came here, they brought the influence of the Moors here. And you can see it in the language, in the architectural designs, and in other aspects. Also, we want to share within that film an aspect of history where recognizing that there were Africans who came to America before Columbus. And this is documented in the papers of Columbus. Family, what I'm saying is that the film is going to be very powerful because it's going to bring to light some things that we may not know. And why is this important? Because in order to have greater respect and appreciation for a people, you have to know their contributions and achievements. When the contributions and achievements of other people go hidden or unknown, and then we are told not told the whole truth, and sometimes told falsehoods about how Africans had not accomplished or done anything, then we go feeling or thinking that people are less than, or not as valuable, or not as important. What we are hoping to accomplish with the film is that we share this information so it may empower us as African Americans and as people of this city and this nation. It will empower us to understand that all people have contributed to the growth and development of this city and this nation. So through the film, Walk on the River, the 2.0, the African influence in San Antonio, we want to show the city of San Antonio and this nation that we have been here since the foundation of the city. And if you know the history, you will see the influence in many aspects of the city. And therefore, we can truly appreciate and have greater understanding of the cultural diversity of this city, and therefore look at each other with more understanding and acknowledgement of what we have done together. Now, with the film of Walk on the River, the African influence in San Antonio, this film will premiere February the 29th here in the city of San Antonio. And definitely, I think it is worth your time and our time to come out and see this film and to learn this great history. At the same time, this film is really a prequel to the first film. The first film was Walk on the River, a black history of the Alamo City, documenting the black history of San Antonio from 1865 to 1965. In this film, in the first film, you see the history of African Americans coming here to the city of San Antonio. During this period of time, the development of communities, development of neighborhoods, the development of institutions, where in the film we document great institutions like St. Paul United Methodist Church, which is the oldest black church in San Antonio. We document the life in some small aspect of sharing with you the political life of San Antonio, such as the first District 2, as we know now, political representative, Reverend James, out of Second Baptist Church. We also acknowledge the contributions of Reverend Claude Black here in San Antonio, and he has his great influence in serving the community here and also serving as city council representative. We talk about the economic development that took place here in San Antonio with some of the businesses that are still here today, like Carter Taylor Mortuary, which was founded in 1909, still established here and running today in the city of San Antonio. We share in that film some of the institutions like the Carver Cultural Center. We also share about some of the first educational institutions, such as the Rincon School and the Riverside School, and on into the the Phyllis Wheatley High School. I'm saying, family, in this film is an introduction into the history of blacks here in San Antonio. We premiered this film August 17, 2018. And since that time, many people have come out to see the film. The first night we showed the film, it was to a sold-out audience at the Carver Cultural Center. Over 600 people came out to see the film. And as they left with a greater sense of knowledge and pride about the African American contribution to the city of San Antonio. Since that time, this film has been shown on college campuses around the city of San Antonio, been shown at the movie theater, and have shown at private settings. And of course, this film has also led to the development of a new venture, and that is the Freedom Black History Bus Tour. Now I want to share with you just a brief clip of the Freedom Black History Bus Tour.
I think it's a great way to document history and tell stories. And, you know, known as probably the wealthiest black man in San Antonio and the state of Texas.
Bus tour, and I would like to say that it was most enjoyable, very entertaining, educational, and we learned an awful lot. I've been in San Antonio all my life, and I thought I knew my city pretty well, but today I learned something, and so I would encourage you to please, whatever you do, make it a point to participate in the Freedom Bus Tour in San Antonio at the very next opportunity. It's wonderful.
Well, the Freedom Black History Bus Tour, of course, is an opportunity for people to see some of the physical locations that we talk about in the film, A Walk on the River, A Black History of Alamo City. When we were showing the film in the theater, people were asking the question, where are these places that you're talking about within the film? So it kind of spurred us to look at how can we offer something to those who are asking the questions. How can we offer something to this great city and share an aspect of history through a bus tour? So we established the Freedom Black History Bus Tour. We first operated or shared this tour January of last year during Dream Week. It's a 56-passenger bus. We all get on the bus. We do a 10 o'clock run and a 1 o'clock run. And last year, we sold out because people want to know the history. And as we took people on the tour, we talked about the start of the Martin Luther King March. And we went by St. Philip's College and Mr. Charles Bellinger home, by Ella Austin, today Medical Center, but at that time we talk about the orphanage. We go by Wheatley Heights High School, Phyllis Wheatley High School. And we go through the Carver Cultural Center and St. Paul United Methodist Church in Ellis Alley. We ventured through the east side of San Antonio. We have identified 18 locations that we put on the map. And we take the groups of those on the bus to see those physical locations. It has been a great venture because since that time, we have taken throughout this year, without question, at least 10 bus tours, and that's private and public. And what is happening is that the bus tour is making people aware, once again, of the African-American contribution to the great city of San Antonio. It's showing people this history that has taken place here in San Antonio. And as people walk away, they're inspired and they're uplifted to know this great history. At the same time, as we do the tour, people are asking questions. For example, on the Freedom Black History Bus Tour at the corner of Iowa and Pine, we tell the people to use your imagination because at one time on this corner was the Leon Pharmacy, the Leon Theater, St. Clair Beauty Shop, the Keyhole Club, right here on this corner. Of course, today, it's an open lot. So people are asking, what happened to these businesses, this community? Now, that's a discussion for another day, but I think it's a very important that the questions are being raised. And we're contributing because by sharing the history through the tour and sharing the history through the films, we are raising up some information that may not be known to many. And that is, once again, the Black history taking place here in the city of San Antonio. So as we move forward, Sankofa, Lessons from Black History. I want us to understand that we have a history that must be documented, a history that must be told. That history is within our family, it's within our city, it is within our nation. And one of the things that's happening is that we can document it through film and share it with the world. We can create tours and take people to those locations. Family, we must tell our story. So once again, thank you for joining us with Sankofa, Lessons from Black History, as we look back in the past in order to move forward into the future. Asante Sana. Thank you.